Hi everyone, hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password is provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find a list of the chapters. We're going to start with the chapter three-dimensional figures. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. So here I'm on grade 10 math. Chapter we're on right now is three-dimensional figures. Let's just start with the lesson that is parts of three-dimensional figures. Look at this figure. What is the shape of its base? So its base is a square. The bases are square. Let's just start with the test question. The base of the shape is square. Let's just start with the test questions. What Look at this figure. What is the shape of its base? The base of this figure is square. The correct option is square. Look at this figure. What is the shape of its base? So its base is So that is the shape is the circle. The correct option is circle. Wait. The shape base is the circle. Look at this figure. What is the shape of its base? So which is the correct option? What look at this figure. The base of the shape is square. Look at this figure. What is the shape of its base? The base is square. What look at this shape. What is the shape of its base? So base of the shape is triangle. The correct option is triangle. Option number 2 is the correct option. Look at this figure. What is the shape of its bases? Yes, square it is. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is the next lesson is three-dimensional figure vocabulary. So let's just start with the lesson. Is this shape a polyhedron? So the correct option is this is a cube. All of its faces are square, which are polygons. So it is a polyhedron, right? That is the polyhedron. Let's just start with the test questions. Franklin made three-dimensional figures that has 6 vertices and 9 edges. Which figure could Franklin has made? So 6 edges and 5 and 9 edges. One, two, three, four, 9 edges and 6 vertices. Nine edges and six vertices, right? Option number D is the, I think, correct option. Option 1, 6 vertices and 9 edges. Okay, option number 1 is the correct option. Is this figure a polyhedron? Yes, this is a polyhedron. Polyhedron means the shape is a cube and it has 6 faces. All the faces are same, so yes, that is a polyhedron. Is this figure a polyhedron? No, that is not a polyhedron. Oh, yes, it is a polyhedron. This is a pentagonal prism. All of its faces are pentagons or rectangles. Oh, yes, all of these faces are rectangles and pentagons, so they all are polygons. So this is a polyhedron, right? So the shape is a polyhedron. Is this figure a polyhedron? Yes, it is. Is this shape a polyhedron? Yes, it is. Option number 1 is the correct option. Is this figure a polyhedron? Yes, it is a polyhedron. Lester saw a three-dimensional figure that has 8 vertices and 12 edges. Which figure could Lester have seen? Option number C is the correct option. Rayleigh built a three-dimensional figure that has 4 vertices and 6 edges. Which figure could Rayleigh have built? Three-dimensional shape that has 4 vertices. One, two, three. Option number C is the correct option. Which is this figure a polyhedron? Yeah, no, that is not a polyhedron. Is this figure a polyhedron? No. Is this shape a polyhedron? Is this shape a polyhedron? No, that isn't. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is nets and drawings of three-dimensional figures. If you look at this object from the front, what will you see? So you're standing here. You look at when you look at this figure, you look at this side. You have four squares in the length and four square in the width. So which is the correct option? This one is the correct option. You have four blocks in the correct. Okay, let's just start with the test questions. If you look at the object from the top, what will you see? So when you look at the picture from the top, you can see this side, right? So option number B is the correct option. That is B. If you look at this object from the front, what will you see? So option number A is the correct option. Which net will make this figure, A or B? Which net will make the figure? So we need to fold the net along the dotted line. So option number A, when you fold it makes like this, A makes the first one. The correct option is A. Which net will make this figure, 1 or 2? Option number, when you this one will make with the A, option number 2 is the correct option. So option number A is the correct option. If you look at the object from the side, what will you see? So if you look at this image along this side, you can see this is the view. So option number A is the correct option. Option number B is the correct option. Which figure will this net make? Hello? Hello? Okay, option number A is the correct option. Which net will make this figure? Option A or B? So if you fold the image along the dotted line, so this figure is made by the first one. So option number A is the correct option. Which net will make this figure 1 or 2? Option number A is the correct option, right? Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is cross sections of three-dimensional figures. So let's just start with the lesson. Identify the cross section of this object. Assume objects are perpendicular if they appear so. Imagine that the cross section is traced with a dotted line. Cross section means if you break down the image from the middle, the cross section is two circles, right? We can see the two circles. Let's just start with the test questions. Identify the cross section of this object. So if you cross the cross section of this object is B, option number 2 is the correct option. Identify the cross section of the rectangular prism ABCD, which is the correct option. B, it is the correct option is B. Identify the cross section of the cone. That is uh, A. Option number 2 is the correct option. Oh, C it is. That would be C, not A, right? Okay, what identify the cross section of the cylinder? So, which is the correct option? That is A. Identify the cross section of the sphere. That is A. Option number 2 is the correct option. Identify the cross section of the cube. Option number A is the correct option. Okay, we are done with the lesson. Let's just move on to next lesson. That is solids of revolution. Identify the solid of revolution generated by the revolving region around the fixed line L. A good way to visualize a solid of revolution is to look at the reflection of the region across. This is the cross section that passes through the middle of the solid of revolution. So, revolving the region around L generates the following solids of revolution. Okay, let's just start with the test questions, but I don't get what is this solid of revolution. Identify the solid generated by the revolving the region around the fixed line L. That is option number A. Identify the revolution generated by revolving the region around the fixed line L. So the correct option is A. Option A is the correct option. Identify the solid of revolution by revolving the region around a fixed line L. Option number D is the correct option, right? That is D. The correct option is B. Option number B is the correct option. Identify the solid of revolution by revolving the region. That is option number C. Identify the solid of revolution generated by revolving the region L around the fixed line L. Option number B is the correct option. That is B. Identify the solid of a revolution generated by revolving the region around the fixed line L. So that would be option C is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 10 math. Chapter we were working on is three-dimensional figures. The lessons we have covered today are parts of three-dimensional figures, three-dimensional figure vocabulary, nets and drawings of three-dimensional figures, cross sections of three-dimensional figures, and solids of revolutions. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lesson. We